little update. My plastics came in late last week. Been sick, and with Christmas, I haven't really had much time to do a lot. But today, I did get the energy. I came out here and mounted my rotors up, the ones that I sanded and painted. I ended up getting a different wheel. This was powder coated, so I didn't have to worry about. Like I said, that's the one that I painted. I was a little worried about chipping, and like I said, it was chrome. I sanded it down pretty well. Tire was shot on it as well, so this one I found on eBay, had a powder coated rim, and the tires in decent shape, decent enough for me to get it rolling. Put the plastics on. Like I said, well, first of all, I put the calipers on. I'm probably going to bleed them tomorrow, just to make sure everything's tight and holds. Plastics, I put those on to make sure I could steer, because these things are so chopped. As you can tell, there's about 1.5 inches worth of play there. Sure, it's going to be a bumpy ride, but it'll work for now. Like I said, biggest thing, I wanted to make sure I was able to steer, and I'm sure handling's not going to be ideal, but I found forks for pretty cheap, so I'm not too worried about that. It'll work to get me rolling. Got plenty of time until it's riding season here in Tennessee, so frame paint's holding up really good. Plastics look really good. I was a little worried about that. I've ordered some aftermarket fairing kits in the early 2000s. I had a Gixxer 600 that I had to get new plastics for, and they were just cheap, flimsy, and it was just like, barely plastic. You touch them, they scratch. These seem to be pretty hardy, and they are darker than they were dark as I was hoping they'd be. I was worried it was going to read like a really bright red, but I really am glad that it's that dark candy apple kind of red. So, tank cover, I'm probably going to use the tank just to give it more stability. And it's, like I said, it's not super flimsy, but it's not really, it's not, any steel or anything like that. Painted everything up here, got my headlights, got my turn signals, haven't got mirrors yet. Trying to still determine how I want to do that. If I want to do I probably will do something just off the sides here. This thing's going to sit so low and be leaned over all the time. I think it'll make more sense. Got a seat. Got foot pegs here. Got the reservoir. For the most part, I have everything cosmetically and everything besides the motor and the battery, which I got messages last week. They are completed. The motor, I had to have some customization done to it as far as temp sensors and a couple different winding changes I did. Should be able to handle 80 kilowatts, which is just, I can't imagine. I mean, I'm giving that little Z125, I think it's, is it 40, 50? Dang, I don't remember now. 72 volt, charging to 84, giving it 500 line, whatever that is. With voltage sag, it's somewhere around in there. But this one, with the cells I went with this time, 80 amp hour. I was going to do 116 amp hour, but they couldn't get a hold of the cells that I wanted. So I had to go to a heavier cell. The battery pack alone is going to weigh about close to 100 pounds, which is still tremendous, compared to the Busa motors. I mean, I think those weigh 3 and some change, so I'm still going to be shedding a lot of weight just in that alone. So, yeah, everything seems to be coming together. Just waiting on the motor. And like I said, they're both done. They sent me pictures of the battery, pictures of the motor. Everything's done, ready to go, boxed up. They sent it out, I think, Monday. But it takes 4 to 6 weeks. But the battery, they said the lead time right now is not too bad, so I should get it in about 4 weeks. Only problem with those batteries with the weight is you can have them shipped. It's Amridge is who I go through. You can have it shipped by air or by sea. And depending on weight, normally it's not too big of a difference, maybe $100 or so by air versus sea. But when you get into the weight distribution that I'm in, it was like $1,000 just to ship it by air versus an astronomical difference if I had it shipped by sea. So, I mean, no brainer. I'm in no hurry. It's winter. If it was spring, that might be a different story. But since I got months to wait here in Tennessee, it's still pretty cold. So, yeah, just waiting on stuff to get here. Once the battery gets here, I'll start mounting up. I'm going to use the same motor mounts. Get some steel rods, go through it, lag bolts or something, and I'll weld, angle iron something to get that all mocked up in there. There's more than enough room. I think the battery's only 10 by 10 by 18. It's still pretty relatively small compared to the motor. So yeah, seat, pegs, calipers all lined up. Those calipers did turn out nice. They were pretty beat up when I got them as far as just chipping and fading, and I used that Eastwood paint on those too, and that stuff, I mean, it really is. If you're not able to get a spray gun or professional spray, that Eastwood, it really does bond very well. As long as you prep it okay and do everything, like you clean it all. The frame was already a black, but the swing arm back here was aluminum. So I just kind of brushed it up a little bit, primed it, sanded it, and sprayed that Eastwood on there. And I mean, I couldn't be happier. I mean, it turned out so well. Yeah, I'm pumped. I can't wait to get it all finished. Anxieties, well, not anxiety, but anticipation's kind of starting to get to me a little bit as far as I can't wait to get this done, get it going. I'm a little anxious about the back end, the extensions where I have to kind of CNC weld. I got these blocks over here, as I mentioned in my other videos. I have to CNC these. The dropout's a little bit different, but the motor I wanted, solid aluminum pieces. So the dropout, I'm gonna have to come in a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is the extensions, you know, these are about the same as the extensions. So I'll have to come into here and I'll have to CNC out 2 big holes right here. I'm gonna use and lag bolt it together, and then I'll CNC out, kind of like most motorcycles, so they have that longer area in here so I can kind of adjust my back wheel. And then I'm gonna lag bolt them together, and I'll have some spacers between here just to make sure it's a good fit. And then I'll probably eventually weld it. The lag bolt should hold just fine. I mean, I'm gonna use, you know, inch thick, or, you know, as big as I can get in here without really shaving away too much matter here. It should hold just fine, but I'd say down the road I will weld it at some point. I've welded steel a lot, but aluminum's a little bit different ball game. I don't have any argon gas or anything, so I'd probably take it somewhere once I got it mocked up, have them do it. But yeah, seems to be coming together just fine. A couple little things here and there I still have to do as far as just cosmetic. But my biggest concern, like I said, was these front fairings. I was really nervous that I wasn't going to be able to steer or take any corners due to the fact that these things are so chopped. I mean, when this isn't on stands, I mean, it's really low. The guy said he sent these forks off to have them chopped down. I'm sure most of you, if you know anything about motorcycles, you know that typically you have, you know, about this much shock, really chopped them down. This bike was set up for drag, but I'm sure it's going to be a little bumpy ride, and handling's not going to be the best, but it'll make do. I'll probably get some different forks later on down the road, but in the meantime, it'll look cool, I guess. But I definitely want something that'll handle. You know, I plan on going on some decent trips with it. I'll have 80 amp hour, 96 volt battery, 800 line amps max. So should be giving it over 80 kilowatts, which is just, I mean, I can't imagine yet. That little one I have over there, that Z125, it's a mess in here. But that Z125, it's getting 500 line amps at 72 volt, and it'll do 0 to 60 in 3 seconds, maybe a little more. But yeah, no, I can't imagine these frames, this aluminum frame. When I saw it, I was a little worried. I was like, oh, this is going to be heavy, but this aluminum frame, I can lift it up by myself and put it in the back of a truck, and it was relatively light. So I'm only going to add 150 pounds between the battery and the motor. The motor's probably 50 to 80 pounds, and I know the battery's going to be just shy of 100 pounds. They told me what it was. I know it was under 100, but it was right at it. So just that alone, though, the Busa motors, I think they weighed like 3 and some change, just the motor alone. So it's going to be cutting a lot of weight there. And the torque, 0 to 60, it's going to be very comparable to a Hayabusa. From the calculations I've done between ChatGPT and just how many kilowatts I'm going to have and my weight distribution, stuff like that, it's saying if I can keep traction, I should be able to get 0 to 60 in about 1.6 to 1.8 seconds. Don't see that being reality. I'd say it'll be under 3, I'm pretty sure. I don't see over 3 being or under 3 being out of the realm of reality, but we'll just have to see. I mean, I might be way off. I don't know. Like I said, that little bike surprised me though. Doing, like I said, 0 to 60, and I think the best I've got is like 3.1, 3.12, something like that. Really close to 3 seconds, and I'm giving this a lot more power. I think that one's getting around 50 kilowatts, and this one I'll be getting a little 80, a little bit more depending on where the voltage rests. So should be a whole different ball game, but we'll see. And the other thing too, that's 72. This is 96 volt, so I'll be charged over 100 volts versus this one I think charges to 84. Pretty good difference. We'll see. But like I said though, if you guys have any questions, comments, anything you would do differently, I'm always open to suggestions. I haven't had any boostas before. I've had a bunch of crotch rockets, the ZX 10Rs, and I've had a couple Gixxers, but nothing in the booster world. So anything you guys see that, something I need to do before I put this on the street, let me know. If you have any questions, just comment below. Thanks.